Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Like you said, since I'm part of the standing committee, I think my contribution would be very brief. First of all, I would like to mention that after consultation with my electorate, both on the ground here and abroad, they gave me their concerns to present and add to what this August Assembly have already done. But then I would still need to convey their concerns and have them factored in whatever we are going to do. We all know the importance, especially of the diaspora, in both the economic and in both the financial and the socio-economic development of this country. So their concerns need to be factored as well. Madam Speaker, first of all, I would look at the restrictions and freedom of movement and other rights that might be expected during the state of emergency. We all know that, of course, something must happen for a government to declare a state of emergency, and in that case, movement of restriction, which is very necessary in this case, I would like to emphasize, because we all know that the COVID-19 is transmitted person to person. And if our movement is restricted, it breaks the chain of transmission. So I think I would applaud the declaration of the state of emergency, bearing in mind other conditions. Because we all know that the only way we can save ourselves is to stay at home. Yes, we can clean our hands, we can avoid other contact, but how can we avoid other contact other than staying at home? But staying at home comes with other conditions as well. Madam Speaker, on the other hand, my honorable colleague had mentioned about the media. The media, we all know, play a vital role in raising public awareness and enabling the public to get the information on the pandemic. We've all had all the speculations about what state of emergency means. People interpreted it as curfew. People interpreted it as a lockdown. I think this is the time that the government should come up and use the media rather than restrict the media. The media enables the public to get the information on the pandemic. And if they get it directly from the sources, then it will lessen the speculation and people would be more comfortable, at least that they would hear. Whilst we were sitting here, messages were being sent that the head of state was addressing the nation. And I would like to applaud that address because it was done in our local languages, in Wolof and in Mandinka. Whenever we speak in English. When we speak in that language, we only talk to a few. If 80% of us do not speak English, and when we address them in English, it means that we are talking to ourselves. So, Madam Speaker, we should ensure that the local languages are encouraged, especially in this time of need, because we need to talk to the whole country, not just to you or myself. Madam Speaker, the media also needs to be protected and supported to be able to perform their duties and to sustain their work. But it is not only the media that needs support. Madam Speaker, every person needs support if we need to keep them at home. My honorable colleague picked up something that I think most of us failed to pick up, the reduction in fares. I think that was a good strategy by the honorable minister by putting that, because obviously if you cannot afford to fuel your vehicle to take passengers, you will need to park. And in that case, the passenger would need to be restricted. But then again, how is it going to affect us, both economically, health-wise, and everything? Because if you are restricted without food, you might end up dying before even the coronavirus kills you. So we need to also look at that. Madam Speaker, when I looked at the restrictions on open markets and shopping areas, we discussed it at the committee level. But then when I went home, I looked at Section 2, subsection 2, closure of non-retail outlet markets, outlets in markets. And it says a person trading in food in any market shall open for business between the hours of 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. each day. Somebody mentioned that, but I have another aspect of it. Madam Speaker, being a wife, being a mother, and being a female representative, I go to the market every week. And I am very close to the market women, especially at Banjul Market, which is part of my constituency. Madam Speaker, most of those women, especially, they buy their goods daily. They go to Brikama. They leave their homes at 4 o'clock, some of them as early as 3, every other day or so, to go to Brikama Market to buy their products. Madam Speaker, those people that they're buying from, if they open at 6, those people that would be there by 4:30, they won't be able to buy products. And then if they open at 6, by the time they move to Banjul, it takes them an hour or so. So probably they'll get there by 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 6 hours. It will not give them that much time. So, Madam Speaker, in as much as I want a restriction, I also want them to be taken care of. We can close down, we can lock down. I would support a lockdown with a proper package any day, because even if we look at the European countries, they have locked down only for essential goods and services, but then they compensate. They give them compensation. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Minister of Justice mentioned that they want us to be remembered as the generation that did all that it could to save Gambian lives during this pandemic, which will always be remembered in world history. Yes, that is very possible. We can be remembered in world history. We can be remembered by saving our country, but by also feeding our most vulnerable. Madam Speaker, like I always say, this is not the first time I've been mentioning about this deadly virus. And I've always mentioned, like I said before, I didn't want the closure of borders because some other borders are very porous, otherwise people will be coming illegally. But Madam Speaker, now is the time to take stringent measures to ensure that people stay at home. But then again, we've just heard that we have 500 million and then an additional $10 million. Madam Speaker, it is best to prevent, since we cannot cure. We have testing equipment from China. Yes, we can use them. I'm not saying we shouldn't buy medical equipment. We should, because we need them. But this is the time that I am appealing to the Minister of Finance to come up. I would recommend for the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs to present its financial plan and also to prepare for approval by this August Assembly a COVID-19 alleviation program detailing all funds directed to us so that we can properly execute our oversight functions. Not only that, but I am also appealing for him to present the budget that was approved here in December, because most activities in that budget would not be effective again, most of it, because we don't know how long this is going to last. Even if it were to be cleared tomorrow, the after effects would prevent that budget from being functionally active. Because this thing can last 2 months, but the after effects can last a year. I don't expect us as a country or any other country in this world to be traveling, meetings, seminars, because I think this is going to be a game changer. We should start thinking of virtual meetings now, virtual training, virtual seminar, and that would save us a lot, not only as a poor country, but worldwide. Everybody would start saving. And I think that is the more reason why we should revisit the budget and reappropriate, because it is not business as usual. Like the Honorable Minister of Justice had said, he said, I think if I can, these are extraordinary times that call for extraordinary measures. Extraordinary measures means that we need to revisit. We need to take footsteps back. Look at the work. What we did in January would be absolute. It will be of no effect. And if we sit and watch our people die because we don't feed them, we will not, like the Honorable Minister say, be remembered in world history. We will be remembered as murderers of our own people. I think this is the time for our government to show that we care, to show that, yes, we are keeping you at home, not to restrict your human rights, but to protect you. And this is what we are going to feed you with this time. I'm not saying that we should be giving them rice, oil. Under the Emergency Powers Act, there is a section No, I'm not allowing you to observe me. I need to continue. We don't have time. Please, Madam Speaker.
You may not allow him, but please, let's just be mindful of the time.
That is why I don't want to, because I just give me a minute.
Please,
Madam Speaker.
we need to focus on the time as well.
No, you are wasting my time. Please, Honorable, we don't have time. It's nearly 12 o'clock. Madam Speaker, under the Emergency Powers Act, emergency regulations, it says when an emergency proclamation, blah, 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 and services and rebellion for services essential in the life of the community. What are the services essential in the life of us, in our lives? Right now, medical equipment, food to keep us home. We need to stay at home. And if we stay at home, we will not be doing our business. And it will affect us. Madam Speaker, this is where subsection F comes in. It says provide for payment of compensation and remuneration to persons affected. That is covered by the recommendations of the committee. But the minister said that they have not done that. How do you expect us then to approve a state of emergency if you have not prepared on how to take care of us in case we need to stay at home? Like somebody said, we might only have 4 cases, but nobody knows because we are not testing everybody. I might be carrying it, the minister might be, he might be, who knows? Unless we do checks, unless we check everybody, we can never tell whom this is affecting. Madam Speaker, I would love the Minister of Finance, or I would love this August Assembly. Yes, we might approve this, which I would support, but I would also want the vulnerable to be fed. In that case, Madam Speaker, don't give them food. This State of Emergency Act also gives the government the right to take over properties other than landed property. What I am suggesting, Madam Speaker, we have the Minister of Trade here. They know the importers, the exporters. Let us work on promissory notes. Give citizens promissory notes so that they can go to vendors. That will reduce the traffic of people going outside shopping haphazardly at least they will know that if the need arises, they will be able to be fed. Give them promissory notes. This is not the time to be working with cash, because this is the time that people will do fraudulent acts. We have seen letters going round accusing people of paying themselves. So we are not sure. I would recommend that we use promissory notes that at the end of the day, these vendors, these retailers will take to the government to claim, and that will be more transparent rather than the government claiming that they are going to buy foodstuff. Who knows? They might inflate it. I'm not accusing anybody, but I just want them to be accountable, to be transparent. And in that note, Madam Speaker, I would also join my colleagues to show appreciation to the Health Committee for the job well done, and also to tell them that the Ministry of Health, what they have given us as parliamentarians, me personally, I've not seen it, but I sent it to my constituency, giving it to my councillors in my constituency to use it to sensitize. And for that matter, I would say thank you to the Health Ministry through the chairperson of the committee. And also remind this August Assembly that the Health Ministry has been working tirelessly 24/7, but also to tell the other ministers they must join hands with the Ministry of Health, because this is a cross-cutting sector. It is not only health, because at the end of the day, if you don't eat, you won't be healthy. So the other ministers must join the Honorable Minister of Health to ensure that they come up with a plan of action to tell us how. If Senegal had come up with a plan of action since 16th of March, their executive are not more educated than ours. Their National Assembly is not more effective than ours. If they can do it, we can do it. If Niger, who is much lower in the poverty index ladder than Gambia, can come up with a stimulus package, can come up with a package to feed their vulnerable, I think Gambia, we can also do it. We can do it to keep our people indoors, and we must do it. I think this is the time we need to show our people that we care about them. This is the time we need to show our people that we have conscience. This is the time that we need to show our people that they sent us in this August Assembly to protect them, to ensure that laws that are there to protect them are implemented properly. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.